Welcome to Simple Healthy Tips, your guide to better gut health, stronger immunity, and more energy through simple daily habits.
Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and uncover what is literally a hidden universe inside you. Because as it turns out, there are trillions of microscopic organisms secretly calling the shots on pretty much everything, from how clear your skin is to your everyday mental well-being. It's an absolutely fascinating hidden world, and honestly, once you understand how it actually works, it's going to completely change how you view your own body. So tell me if this sounds familiar. Have you ever experienced unexplained fatigue? Or maybe this intense brain fog or anxiety that just seemingly comes out of nowhere? What about stubborn skin flares, things like eczema or rosacea? A lot of us deal with these incredibly frustrating daily issues, and we usually treat them as totally separate problems. Or worse, we just assume we've been dealt a bad genetic hand. We go to a dermatologist for our skin, maybe a therapist for the anxiety, and for the fatigue, well, we probably just drink another cup of coffee. But here's the really fascinating twist in all of this. Your body isn't actually broken. It's not making a mistake at all. These symptoms are actually an incredibly intelligent systemic alarm system going off. When you see those skin flares or feel that heavy brain fog, it's really just your body trying to share with you that it is under severe stress on the inside. So here is our roadmap for the explainer today. We're going to cover 1. The ecosystem inside you. 2. Skin and mood smoke signals. 3. Modern threats to your gut. 4. Carbs decoded with rice versus roti. And finally, 5. The 6-week gut fix. Let's jump straight into section 1, the ecosystem inside you. What's truly wild to think about is that each bacterial strain in your gut isn't just along for the ride. They are active team players, and they each have a highly specific vital role. Take lactobacillus, for instance. It basically acts like a biological security guard. It produces lactic acid to lower your gut's pH and keep the bad pathogens out. And incredibly, this specific action is actually linked to reduced anxiety. Then you have akkermansia. This one actually feeds on your gut's mucus layer, but in doing so, it signals your body to produce even more mucus, creating a much thicker, stronger barrier. Faecalibacterium is your anti-inflammatory powerhouse. It produces a fatty acid called butyrate that literally fuels the cells of your colon. And Bacteroides, well, they're the heavy machinery. They break down the complex plant fibers that your own stomach enzymes simply can't handle. And to make this all work, a healthy gut relies heavily on very specific ratios. Heavy lifters like bacteroids need to take up a massive portion of the real estate, around 30%, just to keep your digestion moving and extracting energy from fiber. It really is an intricate, perfectly balanced ecosystem down there. Moving right along to section 2, skin and mood smoke signals. So if the gut is so well equipped, why on earth do we get psychological brain fog and physical skin conditions? Well, the absolutely crucial point here is that your gut and your brain are in constant communication via the vagus nerve. Think of it like a massive neural highway. When your gut microbiome is imbalanced or inflamed, those distress signals travel straight up the vagus nerve directly to your brain. This causes brain inflammation, which you experience as seemingly unexplained anxiety, depression, and brain fog. So your mood issues might not be starting in your head at all. They might actually be starting right down there in your digestive tract. And exactly the same principle applies to your skin. It acts like a biological smoke signal, basically showing you that a raging fire is burning down in your gut. When your gut lining is compromised, your liver gets totally overwhelmed trying to filter out the escaping toxins. So your body has to find another exit route, right? It pushes those toxins out through your skin, using it as a secondary detox organ. And that is exactly why you get rashes, psoriasis, eczema, and severe acne. The skin isn't the problem, it's just the messenger. Section 3, modern threats to your gut. Let's look at what's actually causing this internal fire in the first place. We are constantly exposed to environmental toxins that act literally like weed killer to our good bacteria. Glyphosate from herbicides destroys the gut lining on contact. Mold and mycotoxins from water-damaged buildings can completely shut down your liver's detox pathways. We've got heavy metals, water contaminants like chlorine, and, this one really surprised me, highly processed artificial emulsifiers. These additives literally erode the delicate shag carpet lining of our intestines. I'm talking about the tiny finger-like villi that absorb your nutrients. When that barrier breaks down, you get severe leaky gut. And all of this triggers a really nasty, vicious cycle called enterohepatic recirculation. Basically, it works like this. Toxins enter a leaky gut and travel straight to the liver. The liver bravely tries to flush them out by dumping them into your bile.
But because your gut lining is compromised, when that bile re-enters the gut, those toxins are accidentally reabsorbed right back into your bloodstream. It's wild. Your body gets trapped, continuously retoxifying itself over and over, unless we actively step in to break the cycle. Section 4, Carbs Decoded, Rice vs Roti. Before we get to the ultimate fix, we have to understand that healing the gut takes a bit of nuance. This is especially true when we're picking our daily carbohydrates. It is absolutely not a one-size-fits-all situation. Looking at something as common as rice versus roti perfectly shows why diet is so personalized. White rice is low in fiber and digests super fast. That means less fermentation and less gas in the colon, making it way safer for a highly sensitive, bloating, or recovering gut. On the flip side, wheat roti is packed with complex fiber, which is exactly what those good bacteria we just talked about love to eat. It's vastly superior for long-term metabolic health and keeping you full, but it can cause uncomfortable bloating if your gut is already in distress. You have to eat for the gut you have right now. And finally, Section 5, the 6-week gut fix.
Okay, let's talk about some science-backed hope. A major clinical trial by Zoe tracked real people who dramatically changed their diets to support their microbiome over just a 6-week period. They recruited Sarah, Rob, and Lucy. These are 3 real individuals with drastically different, but honestly incredibly relatable modern health struggles. Sarah was dealing with menopause, intense new anxiety, and heavy brain fog. Rob had terrible sleep and dangerously high blood fats called triglycerides, which put him at a real risk for a heart attack. And Lucy was battling extreme fatigue, apathy, and systemic inflammation after a highly stressful period. So what actually happened when they shifted their diets to feed those gut bugs? Well, by simply feeding her microbiome correctly for 6 weeks, Sarah saw a staggering 81% reduction in her crippling clinical anxiety. Let that sink in for a second. Just by changing her food, she virtually eliminated a massive psychological burden. And Lucy? She saw an unbelievable 300% increase in her self-reported energy levels. She went from being chronically exhausted to feeling completely revitalized. Meanwhile, Rob completely normalized his dangerous blood fats, drastically lowering his heart attack risk, and he somehow managed to double his sleep quality along the way.
The absolute coolest takeaway here is that they achieved these massive results without some punishing, restrictive diet. They just adopted some deeply empowering, fiber-focused principles. They aimed for 30 different plants a week, and yeah, nuts, seeds, spices, and even coffee actually count towards that. They prioritized fiber because the research shows that adding just 5 extra grams a day can increase your lifespan by 11%. The focus was always on adding abundance to the plate, never on starving themselves. And they lived by the 80-20 rule, consistency over perfection. One bad meal didn't ruin the whole Shabbat.
It really leaves you wondering, doesn't it? If simply adding diverse plant fibers to your plate can dramatically drop your anxiety, clear your skin, and skyrocket your energy in a mere 6 weeks, how much of your true physical and mental potential is just waiting to be unlocked by those trillions of microbes inside you?